Hello, welcome to Ascending DC channel. We are an AWS certified partner to provide cloud consulting and technical support to clients who are looking for cloud solutions to tackle the challenge in their day-to-day operations. This video is one of the many short videos we are producing. In each of them, we're going to demo and explain when used for AWS practice that can be used to improve the efficiency and accuracy of your work. All these tricks have been proved effective in our clients' success. If you are a project manager, DevOps, architect, software engineer, or just looking for useful cloud practice, this video is made for you. Please like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. Today, we will talk about building a pipeline loading data from S3 to Elasticsearch through database migration service and a Kinesis stream, and also share a specific scenario where loading a massive amount, like more than 100 gigabytes of S3 data to Elasticsearch. Calvin Celeste will go over the essential instruction and run a demo for us. Celeste.
Hello, my name is Celeste. I'm a data engineer in Ascending. In this video, we're going through the following topic. First, we'll introduce what is AWS Database Migration Service. Next, we will focus on our use case for leveraging the DMS and explain why DMS is the best fit for our technical requirements. Finally, we will demonstrate how we integrated DMS with other AWS services to do the batch data migration. Before discussing our DMS use case, we need to understand what data DMS is and what technical needs the DMS was designed to meet. So let me introduce AWS Database Migration Services to you, also known as DMS. DMS is a cloud service that can migrate your databases to AWS quickly and securely. No matter it is on-premises or cloud, it supports nearly all of today's most popular DBMS engines as the source and provides broad coverage of available target engines. You need to set the endpoints for your source and targets and make sure AWS supports them. Regardless of whether they are of the same type, then you can create a migration task with a specific replication instance to migrate your data. By the way, the migration process has virtually no downtime. All data changes to the source database that occur during the migration are continuously replicated to the targets, allowing the source database to be fully operational during the migration process. So what is our use case for leveraging DMS? Imagine a massive amount of data, more than 100 gigabytes, was stored in S3. The goal is to send all of the data to Elasticsearch so that data analysts and other potential users could query and analyze it easily and quickly. The method of loading via the Lambda function given by AWS is only suitable for streaming data. When we need to load all historical data from the S3 bucket, we need a one-time job to handle over 100 million records. Although the Lambda function can guess objects stored in the S3 buckets and publish them to Elasticsearch, the amount of data is likely to make the Lambda function time out. The loading process may exceed the execution time and memory limits of the Lambda function. So before loading data, we need to solve two problems. The first is controlling the throughput and the rate of the streaming data. The second is converting historical data into streaming data one time. So after some tests, we found that Kinesis Stream can meet our control requirements for streaming data. It can temporarily store streaming data in shards and then provide a certain amount of data within a certain period through the trigger set in the Lambda function to ensure that the amount of data processed each time is within the acceptable execution time and memory range. The next challenge is to load historical data from S3. With some research, we found that DMS is an ideal solution. DMS supports the S3 bucket as the target source and Kinesis stream as a data target. Performing data migration in streaming with a constant rate and throughput perfectly meeting our needs. Next, Kevin will demo the steps of how we build the pipeline.
Hello, my name is Kevin. I'm a data engineer in Ascending. I will demonstrate how to set up a DMS migration task to inject data into Kinesis stream, then Elasticsearch. At first, we will show you our S3 bucket, which stores source data. You see now an S3 bucket that we built earlier, which contains some data that we saved in advance. Note that the data format must be CSV because DMS only accepts CSV format when using the S3 bucket as the data source. Also, we have a Kinesis stream that can store data in 2 shards for 1 day. Next is our DMS configuration part. As we introduced before, we need a replication instance and 2 endpoints before creating a DMS migration task. So let's create the replication instance first. Click the Create Replication Instance button and type a name of the replication instance. Let's call it Demo DMS Pipeline RI. And then enter a short description. Let's say DMS RI, let's say DMS RI for demo. Here we choose to use the instance class of dms.t3.macro and the engine version of 3.4.4 for demonstration. You can select the specific class types and engine versions according to your project requirements. And we keep the allocated storage and other settings. And then we choose a VPC where your replication instance should run. I will choose Ascending. And now click Create button, then we finish this creation. And it will take some time. Then we need to create 2 endpoints, source endpoint and target endpoint. Let's create the source endpoint first. Click Create Endpoint button and choose source endpoint. Enter a name for this source endpoint. In this video, we call it Demo S3 endpoint. And then choose the ng type. For this case, choose S3. Here, we copy the source success rows ARN. And enter the name of the bucket where we store the data. Enter the table structure, which can describe the table structure, the data structure. You can also test the connection now by choosing the VPC and the replication instance. If the test is successful, you can create the endpoint. If not, you should check your settings and IAM policy. Click Create a button, then we have an S3 source endpoint. Next, let's create the target endpoint. Click Create Endpoint again and choose Target Endpoint. Enter a name for this target endpoint. In this video, we call it Demo Kinesis Stream Endpoint. And for the engine, we choose the Amazon Kinesis as the target engine. Copy the target access rows ARN. copy the Kinesis streams URL, and choose JSON as the message format. You can also test the connection of the endpoint as we did when creating the source endpoint. Click Create button, then we have a Kinesis stream target endpoint now. After creating one replication instance and two endpoints, we can create an AWS DMS migration task to load S3 data to the Kinesis stream now. Let's click Create Task. And type the name of the task, we can call it Demo DMS Task. Select the replication we created before here. Select the source endpoint. Select the target endpoint. For migration types, we choose migrate existing data. Also, we should check enable CloudWatch logs for debug. Then we can keep all default settings. Click Add New Selection Rule and choose Enter Schema. For the startup configuration, we choose Manually later. Finally, let's click Created button. After building the S3 DMS Kinesis pipeline, we need a Lambda function to send data to Elasticsearch from the Kinesis stream. And this is our Lambda function, which will be triggered when new data enters Kinesis stream. It will fetch the data and post them to Elasticsearch in batches. And this is the Elasticsearch domain that will be our final target in the pipeline, which will store the target data for users to query and analyze. Now we are all set. Let's back to our DMS migration task. And click Actions. Then restart to start the migration task. Give it a few seconds, we can see that the entire pipeline is now running. You can now verify the data in Elasticsearch through your search API. We will ignore this part in this current demo. And you can also monitor the migration process in each component through CloudWatch metrics.
Thanks, Kevin and Celeste, for the demonstration. We'll share a Cloudformation template that you can create the component in the video description below. If you have any question about any stacks in the video, please feel free to contact support@ascending.com or comment below. Stay tuned for our next video. Thank you. Bye.
Please leave your comments, questions, critiques to us so we know you are watching. Again, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel, Ascending DC, and stay tuned for our next video. See you next week.